Good afternoon, class. My name is Shania Pinckney. I'm a senior majoring in child development from Charleston, South Carolina. Today is December 5th, 2018, and today we'll be talking about expelling and suspension in elementary children. The article we'll be starting with is Preventing Strategies for Preventing Disproportionate Exclusions of African American Students by Terry J. Tobin and Claudia G. Vincent. Now, before we get into this video, we first have to understand what expulsion and out of school suspension means. Expulsion is terminating the child from the school completely. Out of school suspension is a number of days that a child is out of school. Now, I personally think children should not be suspended or put out of school. I don't believe in it. It only hinders our child. And recent data shows the indication that suspending and expelling children only backfires in the long run. It hinders our kids. If the child's acting out in class, maybe that child needs some extra further help or in something. Or maybe something may be going on. We never know. But before we just suspend the child or expel the child, we need to find out what's going on. There are a number of things in our black community that we can do to make sure our kids are not getting set up for failure. Now, expulsion and suspension is very high and very prevalent and prominent in our African American community. This is what keeps African Americans, this is one thing that keeps African Americans at a lower standard. There are high expulsion rates, and that's an indicator that we are not giving the mothers, from the time that they conceive to the time that they give birth to their child, we are not giving them enough help. We're not giving them enough social and emotional development in the foundation for all learning, future relationships, and school readiness. A lot of mothers aren't equipped, especially in poverty-stricken areas. Of course, a mother isn't going to be properly equipped or not know exactly all of the steps that they need to do to help that child succeed in life. Now, this is a problematic issue. There's a well-established research indicating that these practices can influence a number of adverse outcomes, meaning jail, jail time. You could end up dead. You could end up in a situation that you don't want to be in. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services also issued a policy and a statement and recommendations of helping, partnering with parents to help out, to get that child set up for what's to come, going to school, and helping, giving ways to help that child succeed in life. After reading these documents, I've come to the conclusion that expelling or suspending a child can only bring us down. It can only backfire. I think there should be people that can help parents and caregivers starting from the time that child is born to the time they step in a preschool classroom. Somebody is helping that child. Somebody is helping that child, whether if that child needs it or the caregiver needs it or the parent needs it, because let's face it, sometimes parents and caregivers, they need help. We don't know everything. They don't know everything. And it's okay not to know everything, because every day we're learning something new. We have to make sure we are giving that child everything they need physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, cognitively. We don't want our child going out into this world lacking. We don't want our African American students going out feeling like they aren't good enough as their peers because their peers live in a different neighborhood, or they don't get expended, or they get suspended less than African American students. We have to bring up that positive environment in our kids. We have to plant that seed in our kids to let them keep going. We should come up with programs that promote healthy, safe, and positive environments to help these kids, because we can't do it alone. There should also be alternatives in the school system that also help at-risk children so they don't lead toward a life of continuing to get expelled throughout elementary. And if that cycle continues from elementary to middle school to high school, and eventually a life of crime or worse. In conclusion, suspension and expulsion is not a good alternative. There should be plenty of steps taken before suspending that child. My name is Shania Pinckney. This is Special Topics in Elementary. Thank you.